morning. So today is June 21st and it is triple witching. That means that futures rollover, options expirations, and what else? What's the other triple? I forgot. Anyway, who cares? What we should care about is that we're gonna have some volatility and big moves can come literally out of nowhere. So just be mindful of that. We also have at 9:45 PMI flash, and at 10 a.m. we have existing home sales. So keep an eye on those news. So yesterday, yes, was attempting to hold these new highs, and it started selling off, broke out of this upper range that had established during the morning session, and then it never was able to revisit that and created a double distribution. You can see very clearly you have a set of single prints between 55.56 and 55.58, and and then we spend the rest of the session balancing there. So today what I'm going to be looking for is, how do we treat this range, right? Do we accept prices here, or do we attempt to break out of this distribution? One thing that we need to also pay attention to is the fact that in the larger time frame, that this distribution and this one are, if we take the larger time frame, we can see that we're in balance here, right? So even though we have a low volume node here, in the larger time frame it's not as prominent, right? Different in Q, that this low volume coincides with, it in the larger time frame. It's also some gonna be some resistance here. So what I'm gonna be looking for is, how do we treat this range? Do we come back, retest this low volume node and break it and then attempt to make new highs, or do we find the same sellers here and come back and into the other side of the range and try to take this lows? If we take this lows, then the first spot that I'm going to be looking for is 55.19 and a half, which was the previous all-time highs on this contract. And then this area 55.10 is going to be a place where I'm going to be looking for an initial bounce. If we break this area, then we're going to be entering into this previous range that we had from last week or a couple of weeks ago. And for that range, I marked here, we have the value area high of that range. Imagine a profile here. We don't see here because we don't have that contract in this chart, but imagine this being value area high, this being the point of control at 54.89, and this right here being the value area low. So basically what I'm looking for is, if this area doesn't hold and we enter 55.05 and hold, then I would think of it like a value area rule, right? Holding this triggers a move down to the other side of value at 54.80. So those are the things that I'm going to be looking at. Then let me think. The other thing is that, well, same thing goes for NQ, right? This area is going to be, if we break here, then looking for a move down. And then if we move if we move down below this area, then we're going to be very close to filling the rollover gap. which is at, actually no, it's kind of far away from that, but those are the next levels to look for. Let's see what else. For crude oil, crude has been one time framing up for a while, and it broke that 80, and now it's it put a lot of volume here, and now it keeps moving higher into this. This is my target, 82 and 82.16, which is the untested point of control. But because we're now trading into the range that I posted this morning, let me see if I can expand this chart here. So this is a composite volume from April, and you can see that this area right here, if we enter value area low, eventually the target becomes value area high, which is at 83. So what I want to see is holding this 81.60, accepting above 81.60, then that targets the point of control, and then look for value area higher 83. Not all today, but that's what I'll be looking for. And if we move down on crude, if this price don't get accepted and we see sellers, now we're having two prominent high volume nodes, one at 80-ish, a little bit below 80, and then the other one at 81.25-ish. So in the case that we don't hold these prices, then look for this as targets if you short it, and look for some support here at this area at in the 80 area. So this should be support, and then we can look for longs back into 80.80. Let's see what else. Any other charts you guys wanna? I haven't looked much at gold, but gold's been rallying since yesterday. It broke out of this area. It's coming into this previous area, which, you know, it traveled pretty much the whole range, and we have a little bit of resistance here at 88, and then 23.92 is this untested point of control, which is the target. But if we don't hold this area, then I will be looking for a move down to 23.46, which is the 20-day point of control. Alright, I think that's it for today. It's Friday, so if you had a good week, protect your profits and don't go crazy. Alright, have a good one.